Hey George, welcome to your stretching video. So we're going to get started with your lower body. On your video, we're going to focus mostly on your hips and your thighs to release the pressure on your lower back there. And with your wife in her video, we're going to focus more on her upper body because she has a lot more tension up in her shoulders and her neck. So without further ado, let's get started. We're going to first position. All we're going to need is a mat or something you can lay on the floor, and a towel, and that's it. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, George, this is going to be your first position. We're going to start on your back and stretch out your hamstrings and your calves at the same time. Okay, so you're going to need a towel, a hand towel that big, or any towel will do as long as it's not too thick. You're going to fold it in half, and if you can, fold it in half again, like that. Pop your shoes off. With that towel, bring it right around the upper part of your upper half of your foot, below your toes, and right there like that. Okay. So we're going to start off. Bring your knee to your chest, lay back down. Keep your other leg bent like that, so it takes pressure off your back. And you're going to take a nice deep breath. Exhale, and you're going to kick it up. 1, 2. Good, just like that. So you remember our rhythm of how we stretch. We take a nice deep breath, go into the stretch as deep as we can, very gently. Hold it in that stretch for 1.5 to 2 seconds, and then very gently come back out of the stretch as gently as we went into it. So let's do that again. We're going to go 5 to 7 on each side. All right, ready? Take a nice deep breath. And exhale. 1, 2, and then bring it back down. And again, from that same position. Good, that's 3. 4. And 5. Good. 1, 2. Good. 6. And last one. And 7. Very good. So, as you notice with that stretch, I'm not pulling too hard with the towel. I'm just letting my upper body and arm weight just add in a little bit of resistance, help assist in that hamstring calf stretch. At the same time, you can add in a little bit of dorsiflexion, which is pulling the toes up toward you. And you want to be careful not to do that too much because it will interfere and actually lock up your calf. So just a very gentle amount. And how you can test that amount of strength is just do a little bit, do more, do a little bit, kind of feel what works for you. You may not need it at all because your hamstrings may be so tight. You may get stuck in a position, right here, and that's okay. Because just keep doing it, and eventually you'll get up here, and then eventually you'll be able to get all the way up here. So just take it a little bit at a time. Remember, you pull back with the towel, just very slightly in the beginning, just the weight of your arms. Pulling up with the toes slightly if you can, and then you're bringing it that way to engage to stretch out the hamstrings. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the other side. Wrapping it on the upper part of the foot, preferably below the toes, kind of right on the ball of your foot, and bring it back. Be careful not to try to sit up and go back too slow. Just roll on back, take the pressure off your back. And here we go. So deep breath in, and 1, 2, very good. And again. 1, 2. The more gentle you are, the better it's going to be, the more effective the stretch. Good, that's 3. 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, and 5. 1, 2, and 6. 1, 2, and 7. Very good. So that one I'd like you to start with 1 set on each leg, and then from there you can move on to doing 2 to 3 sets together, and then breaking that up, doing more even later on. Okay, moving on to the next one. Okay, so we changed our venue here back to our apartment because I've been trying to use our gym for the videos for quite a few weeks now. We keep getting interrupted, so I'm just gonna go ahead and make the rest of the video here for you and your wife, and so let's go ahead and get started. So this is going to be for our quadriceps. We just did our hamstrings with a little bit of calf. We're going to follow up with more calf after this, but it's very important that we stretch out the quadriceps, especially the upper part of the quadriceps known as the hip flexors. So go ahead and just follow my lead, and we'll go on through 1 set on each side, and then again you can bring it up to 2 or 3 sets, and as many as you need to from there. Okay, here we go. Okay, it looks like we have a guest star in the video. This is our surviving widow cat Maya. She's a little confused because we moved all of her bed and everything out of the way to do the video. But so let's see if I can stretch with her there if it's not too much of a trouble. All right. Hello, sweetheart. Hello, sweetheart. And your tongue is out. Okay, so for this one, we're going to use our towel and fold it up under our knee. Sweetie. Even if you're using a mat, it's a good idea to use a towel for extra cushion for your kneecap and your tibia. Okay, so we're going to start in a lunge position. Your hips are going to be squared up, and what that means is your hips are not shifted, they're right underneath your shoulders and facing forward. Okay, so starting here, right angle on your front leg and a right angle on your back leg. You're then going to move your front foot 12 inches forward. Nice, sweetie. Okay, so sit up nice and erect, tuck in your belly, take a deep breath in, exhale, and go as deep as you can, leaning all the weight on the front leg. You don't want any weight to be bearing too much in the back leg, because we want it to be relaxed so we can go deeper into our stretch. Good. And 1. So you can have your hands back here or on your leg, wherever's most comfortable for you. Okay? Take a deep breath again. And exhale. Good. Aiming to go a little bit deeper every time. And I like to even move my foot forward a little more every time, just so I can get a little deeper. My quads are pretty loose, nice and flexible, so you may get to that point too, but at the beginning you may only need to go a little bit. Okay? And 4, good. I'm getting pretty deep there, I'm feeling a good stretch. And 1, 2, 5. 6. And 1, 2, and 7. Good. Be mindful not to put too much weight in the back knee because that will can cause some pain in your kneecap. If you feel that you're accidentally doing that, just try to shift your weight back into the front leg. Okay? So square your hips up underneath your shoulders. Find those 2 right angles here. And then move that front ankle forward about 12 inches. Okay? Deep breath in again. Engage your abdominals slightly. And one, two, very good. And again. One, two. One, two. Make sure you are engaging your abdominals. If you're not, it's easy to get posterior pelvic tilt. It's going to help keep anterior pelvic tilt, which is your pelvis stabilized and neutral, so it will pull on the quadriceps and give you a good stretch, okay? Here we go, number 4. One, two, 6. And last one. Good. So that side was a little tighter for me. And as you can see, I was getting to the point where my knee was over my ankle there at the beginning. I wasn't quite there. So you'll tend to see the same thing. Do as much as you can without forcing it. Be very gentle on your muscles. And as you progress, there are more advanced versions, but I want you to focus on that one for now. It's going to be the most effective in the early stages of loosening up your quadriceps. Okay? So very good. Moving on to the next one. Okay, George, so this next stretch is going to be for your abductors. Your abductors are the muscles on your lateral part of your thigh over here, which consists mostly of your lateral quad and your IT band, TFL up in here, and then some of your external hip rotators in there. So it's anything that creates abduction. We're going to do the opposite of abduction. We're going to adduct the leg and actually add in some rotation to give you a really good stretch up in your hip. Okay? So this one, you need your towel. We are going to double it up long ways, twice, and we're going to bring it on your back again. Good. So keeping the right leg bent again, we're going to bring the towel up around our ankle here and hold it tightly like that, as close to the ankle as we can. We're going to place our hand on the outside of our knee, and we're going to bring it up toward our opposite shoulder. So left knee, right shoulder on this one. We're going to push it up, and we're going to pull the towel to give rotation. So deep breath in, exhale. 1, 2, and release. And again, go right back into it. Pulling up toward that shoulder. 1, and still going. 2, good. And again. 1, 2, very good. 1 and 2, good. I'm feeling this more in my piriformis than anything, but you may feel it in your glutes, the side of your leg, wherever you're most tight is where you're going to feel it. Make sure you grab it up nice and high. You can also, without the towel, you can grab your foot and do that, but I prefer with the towel. I think it's a better grip. Okay? Deep breath in. One, 2, good. That's 5. And 1, 2, 6. 1, 2, and 7. Very good. So I felt that one almost completely on my piriformis because I have all of my abductors stretched out pretty well. This is equivalent to if you do a pigeon. You know, pigeon where in yoga you bring your leg across and you lay down on it. Well, this is a little more specific version where I believe you have a little more control. It takes a little more upper body work, but I think the results are more longer lasting than doing the pigeon. So let's go right ahead into the other side. Double wrap the towel again, put it around your right ankle this time. Lay on back, make sure to keep your left leg bent, and right hand on your right knee, bringing it up toward your left shoulder, and pulling, creating the rotation of the femur up in your hip, and exhale. And good, yeah. That's very good. 1, 2, and release. And again. Up toward the shoulder. 1 and 2. Good. Release. Another notation here is as you're pushing into your knee, also push up and out. So don't just push toward your shoulder, push up and over to your shoulder, which is going to give something called lift. And it's going to help pull the femur almost slightly, the muscle fibers that are holding the femur in the socket, it's going to pull them even more. And you're going to feel a slightly different sensation. It's going to help with the stretch a lot, especially with the fascia that surrounds the muscle. Deep breath in. And exhale. As deep as you can, get that stretch. 1, 2, very good. Now again, with this one, you may only get to here, and that's okay. Just go as deep as you can, get the stretch, hold the first couple seconds, and continue with your repetitions. Yep, I feel just in my piriformis on this one again. 1, 2, but I must need it because that's where I'm tight. That's 4, and here comes 5. Good. Remember giving that lift on your knee, pushing up toward the shoulder, rotation. 1, 2. Good. And a couple more. And we're through. And 1, 2. Good. I'm sure you notice this is mimicking what we do together. Just you're doing the work yourself, which is great because you're also giving your upper body a workout at the same time. And 1, 2. Very good. Very good. So that concludes that stretch. Again, I'd love you to do it in 2 to 3 sets of 5 to 7 repetitions. The first set really does serve as a warm-up. The second set really gets into the stretching, and the third one loosens it up almost completely if you do it right. So it's very important that take the time sometimes to do all 3. If you have only time for 1 set, do it. But take the time maybe once a week to do a full 3 sets on each muscle group. Even if your plan is to do a half-hour stretching, go through this whole video, do 5 to 7 repetitions on each muscle, and then pick a muscle to do 2 or 3 sets, such as this one. You may find you're tightest on this one, so do 2 to 3 sets on this one, or the calf, or the hamstring, whatever you're feeling most tight that week. Okay, so we've done the hamstrings, we've done the thighs, we've done the abductors, we did a little bit of rotation in the hips, and now we're going to go for the groin on the inside, which is a very important muscle to stretch out. So it's also very gentle, rather fragile. So when you stretch this muscle, be more gentle with it than you would on most of your other muscles. So don't just force into it. Take your time to stretch it. Let it loosen up on its own. Okay? I've pulled my groin before. Man, it's not fun. It's one of the most, not painful, but uncomfortable muscles in the body to pull because there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to wait for it to tighten back up, and hopefully, in some cases, you don't need surgery. So we're going to start in a squat position. You may find this just to be difficult on its own, but do the best you can. You can use your hands to hold yourself in that position. And you're going to bring your one leg out to the side like so. So in this position, try to just relax into it as much as you can. You may just find this to be a stretch on its own, and that's fine. Just hang out here for a while. I feel already, in my groin here, pulling. So to add to this stretch, you can put your elbow here and open up this side, which I love to do. When you get there, maybe don't worry about in the beginning, but later on. And you're going to reach out towards your foot here. You can grab it, grab anywhere on your knee, around your calf there, or your ankle. And you're going to lean in. 1, 2. And then when you come out of it, pull your leg back slowly, let it relax. And then put it back, add the pressure. One, 2, ease on out of it. You can even come back this way if you like to relax the muscle. That may prove to be more difficult than I just showed you to. So maybe just bring the leg back in. Right. So that was 2. You're going for 3. Exhale. So as you can see, as I'm reaching, I'm opening and I'm putting a little pressure with my elbow here. I'm going to need to open up there. That's really effective. And good. Wow, I'm feeling that one. And in the beginning, just be very gentle because this can get rather sore the next day as well. That's 4, or maybe 5. I think I skipped one. Yeah, oh man, I'm feeling that. And 6. Last one here. Good. So remember, it's not about getting to the point, especially how deep I can get, but it's about the journey of getting it. It's about feeling the stretch and easing into it and getting as deep as you can. I've been stretching for years, so you may not get to the point where I am for a little while, but take your time and you will get there, and possibly you can get even more flexible than I am. So moving on to the other side. Very good. So you probably won't do this elbow pressure yet. It's okay. I'm going to do it just so you know where to go when you open your groin up later on. Okay. So deep breath in. Exhale. 1, 2. Good. You can see I'm using my hand to assist because I don't want to put too much pressure on my groin to pull after we just stretch it out. So it might be a good idea as well. Go ahead and do that. And 2. And 1, 2. Good. And I know my ankles may need a rest right now, so I'm going to sit in my butt. And there's a few different positions you can do this one in. You can also do on your knee, like so, which is probably easier for you. You can sit on your butt and do that, although I wouldn't do that one because the pressure on your back is a little bit much. When you sit in this position or on your toes, you actually are taking pressure off your back. So I would prefer these 2 versions. For the sake of showing you something purposeful, let's go ahead and sit in this position. So you're literally sitting on your foot if that's not too uncomfortable. And you're going to reach out. This one you don't need to put pressure there because it's anchored, it's not going anywhere. And reach on out. Good. Hold that in. And again. And you can see I'm leaning forward into it to give a deeper stretch. You may not even need to do that. I know people who can put their hands and their body flat on the floor in front of them on this one because their groins are so open. One, 2, and 2 more. And 6. Good. So the reason I do these different little variations is because I want to show you that there's not only just one way to do any of these. It's so many different ways. There's 100 different ways to do every kind of stretch. to get the desired result of being more flexible in that muscle. So play around in little ways, but if you ever get any pain, just don't continue. As soon as you start getting pain that's discomfort and not just stretching, stop immediately, revert back to what I showed you, and then go from there, okay? Let's finish off the last one here. And good, perfect. So that concludes our groin stretch. Again, feel free to do 2 to 3 sets anytime. And moving on to the next one. On to gluteus maximus and stretch here. We're going to be on our backs again. This time we don't need any towel. It's going to be all body. All right. Starting on your back. The grip under your kneecap. You know, here's your knee right under the top part of your tibia. Take a deep breath. And you're going to pull that into your chest, like that. If that's too easy, bring your leg flat out and try it again. Okay. We can also bring it out to the side. I think you're going to need these in every direction. Bring it up to the opposite shoulder. Very good. So in those 3 ways, I would do 7, 7, 7 for you because I know you're very tight in your glutes. Make sure to keep your head back so you don't create any additional pressure on your neck. Okay? So let's go ahead and bring it up. Start with the first one. And release 1. Good. 3. And 4. 5. 6. And 7. Good. So of course you can see that I'm very flexible there. It's not necessary for me to actually do that one, but just to walk you through the steps. We're going to go ahead and do that on the other side and then open up evenly each side. So we don't want to do all 3 on one side and all 3 on the other. We're going to go 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Okay? Going on this side again. Remember to keep your knee bent if you to take pressure off your back, but if you need the extra flexibility, feel free to put that leg out. You can also slide something under this knee to give you a little bit of support. Okay? Deep breath in. Exhale, pull it up, same shoulder. And that's 1. 2. If you're at the point where I am, you may feel a little bit of getting jammed up in your hip flexor here. If you're feeling more getting jammed up here than in stretching your glutes, then go ahead and move on to the next one because that means you're already as flexible as you need to be there. Okay? Like that. 4. 5. 6. And last one. 7. Very good. Now moving on to the other side. All right, so we're going to start by bringing it out to the side. So imagine on the outside of your shoulder. The last one we were bringing up right to your, let's say, armpit. This one you're going to be bringing maybe 6 inches out to the side over here. Okay, so 6 inches out to the side of your shoulder. 1 and 2. 1, 2. You're going to feel a little bit of groin on this one too. Doing this one with one leg at a time is very beneficial for your back. Again, you can keep this one bent if it's putting pressure on your back. And better than doing it both at once, because doing both at once puts more pressure on your spine. This is very good for people who have any kind of back surgery, bulging discs, disc herniations, or ruptures. Okay, good. So that's 7. Moving on to the other side. Because I get a little bit of back pain myself, on this one I prefer to keep my knee bent a little bit. Okay? And up and out. 1, 2. Good. And if you need a little more strength, feel free to use your other hand to assist. Good. 2. That's 3. And 4. 5. 1, 2. And the same thing goes for this one. If you're getting jammed up in the upper part of your hip on the front, more than you're feeling a stretch on the back of your glutes back here, and that does mean you're pretty flexible there. Go ahead and move on to the next one. Good. And 7. Perfect. So going on to, now we're going to bring it across the body slightly, over back to the opposite leg. This one, again, same thing with the knee. Bring your knee up if it's bothering your back, or if you need more flexibility, go ahead and bring your leg straight out. Maybe something under your knee. Okay. So now we're going to bring opposite shoulder. This is different from the other one we did where we had the towel and rotating, because we're not going to focus so much on rotation, but just bringing the knee up and over. Okay. So you also want to focus on keeping your hip down as much as you can. And you do that just by, don't relax too much, don't bring it all the way up and over. You just want to focus on keeping it right about there, using maybe your back a little bit and a little bit of abdominal engagement. Okay, up. 1, 2, and release. Good. 1, 2, good. I like to hold my left hand on the outside of my knee, and then hold my tibia right with my right hand right there. So it gives a little bit of rotation, but not too much, just enough to help loosen up that muscle fiber there as we bring it up to our opposite shoulder. 3. Good. 4. This one may require a little bit of extra strength. The gluteus maximus it's been said to be the strongest muscle in the human body for its amount of muscle density. So it has so much strength in such a small amount of space. I think the tongue has also been said to do the same thing, but it's up for debate. Good. Remember to keep bringing your leg out every time, relax it completely. Should be like that more or less. I may be going a little fast in the video, but you want to relax your leg completely, get the blood pumping in there properly before you go back into it. And good. So that one, out of all the gluteus stretches that we just did, that one I would be the most tight. So I would do 2 or 3 sets on that one to push on through and open that muscle up. Okay. And everything that we're stretching in this video is going to loosen up your hips again to give you more control, less pressure on your lower back, and hopefully get you out of any pain and prevent any future pain that could accumulate from all that pressure on your discs and your nerves in your back. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish up on the other side. And right hand on the right side of the knee, left hand on the tibia. Deep breath in. And exhale, bringing it up and across. Ooh, yeah, I'm tighter on this side. I'm up to that shoulder. 1 and 2. Oh yeah. Good. 1, 2. So you can see I'm moving my left hand around a little bit on my tibia to find the exact spot that I can find the most leverage. I found it to be maybe right just 6 inches below the knee there. It's going to help you get just a little minimal bit of rotation to help bring that across and get a good stretch. Good. And remember not to resist on any of these, so don't try not to engage your butt. Try to relax your glutes so you can get a good stretch, bring it up and across. Perfect. That's 5. 2 more. You should really relax completely after every one. Six and good. 7. Perfect. Okay, George, that's it for your stretching video. If there's anything else that you would like me to include that I didn't, anything you need to refresh in your mind, such as the Happy Baby or some of the other ones that we did. I know I covered some new stuff here, as well as some stuff that we may have covered before, but just let me know. I'd be happy to include it in a short little separate video for you. And the same goes for Linda in her video. So again, I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to do these as much as you can, at least once a week. And on those tighter muscles, remember, do 2 to 3 sets, okay? Remember the stretching, the rhythm that we do. Nice and slow in, exhale, 1 to 2 seconds, and then release it as gently as you went into it, okay? So I hope it helps. I hope you do great, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next time you come down to Miami, all right? Enjoy. Have a nice and hopefully warm winter up there in Toronto. See you soon.